What is up, everyone? Welcome back. This is a video that I wanted to do before the season starts. It's getting kicked off really soon here. The top things you need to know about Major League Fishing prior to the season starting. Okay, before we do that, we have a lot of people watching. We had a great growth of the channel last year, and I want to thank you guys, each and every one of you. But real quick here, a lot of you are non-subscribers. Actually, more non-subscribers are watching our videos than our subscribers. So make sure, if you aren't subscribed and you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate that. Now, jumping into the video side of things, this one is, I wanted to do something that would really dive into some of the intricate details of some of the things maybe fans do not know that are behind the scenes. So let's just jump right into it. All right, starting this thing off, first thing first. Smallest field I've ever competed against at 66 anglers. That field is going to get dropped down to 51 after this season. So I think there's really going to be a cool storyline of who's in, who's not. Of course, you have your 5 anglers that will come up at the end of this season from the invitationals and move up, and then you have the rest of those guys getting down, and that will sort of lock us in place at that 50-51 angler field, which is the smallest field that I've competed against, which is, to me, I know the whole reasoning behind it. I think that they're looking at trying to maximize potential. There is a lot of things that I look at is going to be a benefit. It's going to give the guys who are there, obviously, a better platform and more TV time, more exposure. But it's going to be a grind. I mean, you're going to have to absolutely, you're competing against, obviously, like a premium group that's there. Like that, there is no, and I'm not saying there's fluff, I'm just saying everybody who is competing is a catcher. You know what I'm saying? And so there's times like you go through those periods. And so like I look at that and I'm like, man, this is going to be awesome. But it's also going to be really cool to see, David Walker got back in. He's a great veteran, veteran angler. And so this is sort of going to play on, of course, the forward-facing sonar aspect of things. Is it going to be a major player this year? Is it not? We'll talk more about that here later on in this video. But there's a lot of things, and it's going to be something that's going to be fun to watch. Is the young guy going to really push his way up and make it through, or is it going to be those veterans that really have the phenomenal year and sort of solidify their spot in that top 51 or the top 45 to ultimately make the cut? Number 2 is going to be that there's going to be 4 days of competition this year. There is no longer any more Group A, Group B. I'm thankful for that. Trust me. And listen, this is something that it's been a long time coming, but MLF has tried to figure a way, has done a great job with catch, weigh, release. And this is one of the hard problems with catch, weigh, release, having officials in every single boat. So they've done a great job, and shout out to all the officials that have signed up. They've done a phenomenal job of getting those weights in and now having a full field of 66 anglers and being able to have enough officials to do that. That's great. It's obviously great for our fisheries, but it's also great for the game. So them actually trying to sort of make the product better by shrinking it down to 4 days. I think everybody sort of wanted that for the most part, and especially the anglers. I think everybody was sort of saying, look, if we could do this, it would be a lot better. And now finally that's happened. So I think that's a great change, and definitely I'm looking forward. Now it's going to be a little more difficult because we used to fish against 40. And so now you add 26 more guys basically to the field. You might not be able to get on some things a little bit. So it's a little bit different there, but at least you're going to know if a guy's fishing an area with you, where like Group A and Group B, you never really got the understanding of what was really going down. So that's just sort of like the front end, and it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to competing 4 days. It'll be a little bit, there is no off day to take a big giant nap and sleep anymore. So I'll probably be a little more tired after the tournament, but I'm looking forward to it. Number 3 is going to be the payout. There's a lot of money wrapped up for sure. There's a lot of opportunity to win some money. A big investment, but a lot of money. Smallest field I'm fishing against that I've ever fished against in my career, but also 150 grand for first place, going all the way down to 20th place is $15,000. So if you make the knockout round, you made $15,000, which is a great step up from just a $10,000 check from years past. And then of course the top 30 will get paid. That is the breakdown of, I think, $10,000 to 30th place. But to me, with that small a field, having that opportunity, a lot of times we forget as fans, that really makes a big impact. That middle line of making sure there's $15,000 there. You have a lot of expenses with entry fees, you have a lot of expenses with just driving there, to where there's a good there's a good chunk of change. When you make that top 20, you accomplish something. You beat a lot of the best anglers in the entire world. And that really could help a guy in that middle class of anglers that's, just sort of kicking the can down the road trying to get to his big break and make it. Okay, so this one's definitely been talked about quite a bit, but one that has to be brought up is there is only one period of forward-facing sonar. That is, we're gonna have to designate the period while we're out there on the water. There's gonna be a lock box on our power cables. We'll have a full breakdown of how that's gonna work prior to in the tournament meeting. Basically, you get an opportunity to choose your period, and you only get to use it once per the day. So 33% of your time you can utilize forward-facing sonar. The rest, you're gonna have to go old school. Now this is gonna add it's gonna be a little tougher to be more as efficient as I have been in years past fishing offshore. There's gonna be a lot more techniques that play into the role. Of course, cranking, DT6s, chatterbaits. I look for that power fishing element, buzz baits. I look for that power fishing element to really kick up a few notches. I think score trackers are going to slow down a little bit in those scenarios. You're not going to it might not take 40 pounds to make the cut now. It might only take 28 or 30. The thing is you're going to see some key fish caught during those other two periods that you have to sort of figure out to be the most efficient. So maybe I'm not out there in the middle of the lake fishing for suspended fish, because you literally cannot do that without that technology. Now you're going to the bank, you're fishing, maybe stationary rock areas, cranking bridges, doing more traditional tactics that I have my whole entire career that's really got me to this point. So I'm looking forward to that, but I think there's a lot of strategy that's going to go into this. And not fishing that way, we're going to sort of understand and realize little strategies that are going to pop up throughout the year of how to utilize your time and what's the best way to do it. And it's not going to work for every single lake, but it's something that to me is going to make this a lot of fun. Like I love it for the viewer aspect. If I'm like a viewer in this standpoint, like I want to see that decision-making process of how, okay, you just wrecked them on a minnow out in the middle of the lake. Now you have to change up your leading, and you have two more periods, but you're leading by 10 pounds and Andy Morgan's behind you. And you're like, oh, you got to figure it out to win the tournament. Those are the storylines that I hope sort of happen. Obviously, be pretty stressful on our side, but it should make for some awesome television and a great learning experience and learning opportunity for a lot of fans out there of what to do. What are the other options, which I'm looking forward to. Hold on, we'll see what's happening. Hey, what's up, Hudsy? You coming over here?
Yeah, this is Robo's.
Come here. Say hi.
Hi.
So, what's your favorite fishing lure?
Pink.
A pink fishing lure?
Yeah.
You like fishies?
Yes. Like so big one and smaller ones, kinda.
You like big fishies or small fishies?
Small fishies.
Small fishies?
Yeah.
I thought we liked big ones. You gave up your passy to Santa Claus's reindeer?
Yeah.
Tell him. Who'd you give your passes to?
Sister.
You give them to Santa? Did you get some presents?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say
All right. Well, say goodbye to all the people.
bye.
All right. He's gonna be a big hammer before you know it. That guy right there is gonna reel all the bass in. Now that kid, if you guys gotta see a little bit of following me along, he's ate up. He just dropped his sister off at school with his mom, and he is ate up. He rereads the Big Bad Gar every night. Every night I got the Big Bad Gar. Thanks a lot. He's like, I want the Big Bad Gar. Anyway, so back to the video aspect of this. Back by popular demand, the one thing that I am looking forward to is the win you're in. Okay, you win the first round, you're auto-qualify to the championship round. This is going to be a great thing. I always felt like it kept me pushing to fish, which again, it makes it awesome for the people back home and everybody who's watching. What's going on? Like, what? All right, so if you have a battle at the top and you have a guaranteed slot to make that top 10 there for your chance at $150,000, why wouldn't you? So you're going to be fighting, and it was always a strategy for me. Like thinking back, like there was tournaments. I'm like, dude, should I push on it? I know I got into a battle with Lucas one time on Cayuga. And I was like, dude, like it was back and forth, and I ended up bowing out. So I'm like, I gotta save fish. So it just adds another piece of strategy into the game that we already play. And it's like, of course, like coming to next year, we go to Chickamauga. but the first 2 days you're on Chickamauga, and then the next 2 days you're on Nickajack. So you burn everything you got on Chickamauga, everybody will. So that'll be cool to see how that one plays out. Man, of course, looking forward to coming here. Obviously Murray, but we start the season off on Conroe. So to me, that's one that will be one to watch all season long. Well, I really appreciate you guys following along. I can't wait to start the season. And we have, just a few more days before this thing kicks off. So wish us luck, and we will see you guys on the water.